When rescuers told him to leave, the dog didn't run to safety. He ran back into the danger because the boy was still inside. What this dog chose that night will break your heart. High in a remote mountain village, where fog kissed the rooftops each morning, lived a quiet boy named Noah. Noah was different. He could walk, but slowly. Running was a dream his legs never allowed. While other children raced through the fields, Noah watched from a distance, smiling politely, hiding the loneliness he didn't yet know how to name. His parents worked in the city on long contracts, which meant long absences. So Noah lived with his grandfather, Elias, a man shaped by years of hard labor and an even harder silence. They didn't talk much, but in their own quiet way, they understood each other. One cold afternoon, Elias was returning from gathering firewood when he heard a low, desperate whimper. There, near the edge of the forest, caught in an old, rusted hunting trap, was a dog. He was covered in mud, bleeding, his eyes filled with fear. The dog growled when Elias approached, baring its teeth. But Elias didn't raise his voice. He didn't raise his hand. He simply knelt down. Slowly, gently, he worked the rusted jaws of the trap open. The dog bolted, a flash of brown fur disappearing into the trees. Then it stopped. Itornet Bike looked at the old man and just sat, watching. When Elias started for home, the dog followed, keeping a careful distance. Noah was the one who named him Ash. Ash healed. Under Noah and Elias's quiet care, his wounds closed, and his fur grew back thick and soft. And as he healed, something strange became clear. Ash could run. He could run fast, incredibly fast, chasing squirrels up trees with astonishing speed. But whenever he walked beside Noah, he slowed down. He always matched the boy's careful, deliberate pace. He never pulled on the makeshift leash, never darted ahead. He simply stayed. If Noah stopped to catch his breath, Ash stopped. If Noah stumbled and fell, Ash would wait patiently, nudging his hand with a wet nose until the boy was ready to get up again. The other village dogs chased birds, fought over scraps, and lived wild, boisterous lives. Ash ignored them all. His world, his entire focus, was the boy who couldn't run. His place was beside Noah. Then one night, the mountain seemed to cry. Heavy rain, the kind that swallows whole villages, poured from the sky. The ground groaned, a deep, unsettling rumble that vibrated through the floorboards. Then came the sound, a deafening, roaring crack. A landslide. Rocks, mud, and trees tore down the slope, swallowing homes in seconds. Elias grabbed Noah and ran out into the chaos. The mud was a treacherous river beneath their feet. Elias slipped. He fell hard, his leg pinned by the shifting debris. Noah cried out, his small voice lost in the storm. But Ash barked. It wasn't a bark of fear. It was a desperate, urgent warning. Again and again and again. High above the slide, rescue teams heard him. They saw the dog first, a lone figure against the backdrop of destruction. Come, run. This way, they yelled, their voices carried on the wind. Ash looked up at them, at the path to safety. Then he turned back toward Noah. He stood over the boy, a furry shield against the falling rain, barking endlessly, refusing to move. Finally, the rescuers understood. They followed the sound, making their treacherous way down the unstable slope. And there they found them. Noah was pulled to safety, cold and terrified, but unharmed. Then they freed Elias, his leg broken but his spirit intact. Ash was the last one to climb out, his body caked in mud, but his eyes never leaving Noah. In the aftermath, as the village tried to piece itself back together, aid workers offered to take Ash. A dog like that deserves comfort, they said kindly. A warm shelter, soft food, an easy life. They opened the door to their truck, a promise of a better world. Ash looked at the truck, then he looked at Noah, who was wrapped in a blanket, his face pale. Ash didn't follow them. He walked back to Noah's side, sat down, and stayed, because Ash was never trained. He was never owned. He was never chained. He was a wild creature who had been shown a moment of kindness, and in return, He chose. Years later, Noah still walks slowly. His legs never learned to run. But he is never, ever alone. And Ash, now with streaks of gray around his muzzle, still walks right beside him, matching every single step. Not because he has to, but because love, when it's real, always chooses to stay. True loyalty is not taught. It is chosen. And sometimes, the very strongest love comes from those who expect absolutely nothing in return. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs it. Thanks for watching.